Disclaimer. These videos show some tips to help you on a true hike of the AT. The ideas presented are not the only way, merely one hiker's experience. Remember, hike your own hike.
We're on the trail.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. And I am back with another
Tips from
I do this
the
and it like puts it on the top
trail.
of the screen and says tips from the trail. I'll edit that in. Fly, off my nose. Alright guys, I am back with just a real quick tips from the trail. I was actually out here, me and Lucky are hiking, we're doing a 100-mile section, and I went to do something and he said, you know, that's a good thing that you can put on your tips from the trail because it's a good thing to know. And basically, it's a way of getting your feet dry again, or helping to keep your feet dry so you don't get blisters. Last night I hiked through a downpour and my feet got really, really wet. Got to the shelter, was able to air dry my feet and dry them out, but my shoes are still really sopping wet. And even though they're trail runners, they're still wet. So hiked for about 8 miles this morning, and I could start to feel my feet not really liking being wet, and maybe even a blister starting to form. So I automatically took the time to stop, pulled my shoes off, set them in the sun for a little bit, which didn't really do a whole lot, but pulled the soles out of my shoes. That'll just kind of help with the breeze coming through. My shoes were really hot from walking, and I believe they dried out a little bit. But the main thing that I did was switched out my wet socks for dry socks. I always carry a thicker pair of Smart Wool hiking socks that are normally my camp socks, but it also gives me the ability, I've put them on now. When I got back on the trail, my feet feel much, much better, and I feel like there's no chance for blisters. But what's happening is those Smart Wool socks are absorbing the water from my shoes. My shoes aren't drying out very fast, but the Smart Wool is going to absorb the water from them. And unlike my shoes, I can't hang them from my pack to dry, but I can hike here even if it's 2 or 3 miles, or maybe the rest of the day, depending, and it'll help dry out my shoes. And then I can take those socks and hang them on my pack and dry them, and then put my other socks back on. So by just taking about 15 minutes, I think I'm gonna be able to, you know, keep blisters from forming and get my feet dried out, because you never wanna wait too long. You start to feel something forming when it comes to a blister, you need to act quick because they can get out of hand pretty fast. All right, well, I hiked about 2.5 miles or so with those thicker socks on, and I'm stopping now because my feet get pretty warm. I normally don't wear those kinds of socks. I wear a thin liner sock, and I felt like my feet maybe were starting to sweat, so I wanted to see how everything worked out. These socks here, I got them back on my pack now. They're a little damp because they pulled that moisture out of my shoe, and my shoes are surprisingly dry. It's like that those socks just suck the moisture right out of them. While I've been hiking, I took my hiking socks and I hung them on my pack for the last 2 miles, and they dried out a little bit, so I'll be able to put my hiking socks back on and my shoes back on. I've been airing my feet out, and just by doing that, you know, easy little trick, I was able to keep my feet from staying wet, because I could have just kept hiking, my feet would have been wet, and I know for a fact that I got a blister. But just taking this, and in the last couple miles, I've taken 10 minutes at the beginning and 10 minutes at the end, and I think I'm gonna be fine. I hope that you have found this quick tip helpful, and stay tuned for more tips from the trail, because if it works for me, it may work for you. Bye-bye.
Until then,
Here, we can walk around.
happy trails.
Here's a famous expression. Felice and Daryl. Happy trail. Felice and Daryl.
Stay safe. Keep your twin places.
I like it, I dig it, I want more of it.